Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's John D, one half of Sticks and Stones Gaming, and I'm coming at you with another review. And this one's off the Xbox Game Pass. This is 12 minutes. I played this on the Xbox One X. And before I get started off on this, talking about this whole game and whatnot, man, do us a solid, man. Hit that like and subscribe and all that good stuff, man. We'd really appreciate it. But anyways, diving right into this, I'm going to go with the length of the game. So this game I finished, I would say roughly 5 to 6 hours, and I went crazy. Like, I dug deep. I literally retried things a million times. I was trying my hardest to get all the endings. I ended up getting 100% achievements and all that good stuff, so that felt good. And honestly, it was from pure obsession and enjoyment, man. I was really, really enjoying myself when it comes to this type of story. The story. The story is what makes this game, man. You have a bunch of scenarios. You got a bunch of twists, secrets, ways to die, speech options. And honestly, you got a lot of ways, if you're like me, that you could figure out how to break the game or get things to glitch out. And all that stuff, it affects the game, and it affects the way the story will play out. And that's kind of the charm of it, man. The way they all affect each other, especially the dialogue and all that stuff, it's a good time. And from how a second attempt at things, depending on what you're doing, like let's say you're trying to commit suicide and you got a gun or a knife, and the first time you do it is miserable because he messes up, but the second time he does it, he's kind of a professional. He's not like a pro, but he's like, all right, I'm not gonna make that same mistake. That type of stuff, that really holds weight, man. It affects the character, the dialogue, the way he talks, the way he explains it, and you could feel that misery. Like the first time I shot myself in the head, like killed myself with a gun, I was like, oh, he did it wrong. And then the second time, him going like, oh, we're not doing that again. That's just those little details, that the little attention to detail that really gravitates and like sets up the story. It's a good time. Also, there's things like reactions to small pictures, stuff on the fridge, and how that can change the course of many timelines. It had me hooked, man. The story had me hooked, especially when shit got like extremely strange or just immediately violent. Like shit went down, like things happened, violence, all of it. Gameplay. It's a top-down point-and-click game, man. You have endless dialogue. The random things that you can click aren't even showed via hints or anything like that. You just have to click on shit, try to combine things, and use your imagination. And it's nice, man. You end up dragging things onto each other, or you can drag things towards people, too, to get a reaction. I mean, typical adventures, point-and-click adventures. It's a different take on a classic genre that I normally would associate with, like, PC, the PC
God tier
gamers, but consoles try their best. They try really hard. But yeah, it's right down that alley. Like you won't be getting anything reinventing the wheel as far as the point and click genre, but this is what it is. Dialogue. The dialogue is vast, man. There's so much here, and it's hard to praise and give insight without spoilers, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna pull it off because I'm the man. I am awesome. I'm gonna give it to y'all spoiler free. The dialogue makes this game because it creates the story, the tension, the atmosphere, and everything else. I say it's vast because the more you do and fuck around with, the more this game throws at you, opening all types of avenues, dialogues from wild to funny to just strange. And shout out to the cast, man. This is James McAvoy as the husband, homie from Split and, those terrible X-Men movies. Daisy Ridley, Rey from Star Wars, she's the wife, and a random little ass girl who, she's just a little girl, I don't know who it is, and the absolute goat. And it's kind of what he does when he's in movies, from like Boondock Saints to like The Watchtower or, shit like that. But Willem Dafoe, bro, the OG Green Goblin. You know what I'm saying? The OG. This man literally put this game on his back, but also me, and carried us to greatness. Like he carried us. Like I am in his arms. Controls. It's pretty simple. I mean, you move the stick to point a cursor at things, and then you press one button to interact. This works for everything. Items, characters, dialogue, all of that. It's not hard, so anyone can figure out how to play. It's just a matter of, taking it that next step and like combining things and all that good stuff and using your imagination, but also having like somewhat of a decent memory to know, what not to say and stuff. I mean, you kind of get cues from the game, but it is what it is. You'll figure it out. Character development. This right here is where I have to not spoil anything. Just know that the development is a roller coaster, from finding out secrets from each character, or how the main characters react to things. All of it is fantastic and keeps you dialed in. Like, honestly, not even just the secrets of the main character, the secrets of everybody. Everybody got some sort of skeletons in their closet. You go through some changes with the characters to the point where if you do not at one point audibly say in the silence of your own home, or if someone's even around you, then you honestly might not feel anything at all. And that's just in life in general. Graphics. Graphics are solid, man. The detail's nice, though I did run into a lot of jank as far as the characters moving around or the blood from getting attacked or any other violence. It was more like a strange blob of putty just flying out of the character and like hitting walls and like that. Other than that, some strange character animations too, like they're clashing or like them walking around each other was was a little jank, but it was like fun jank. It didn't like completely take you out. There were a few moments where I would start something, but I would click on another thing and it would start up other dialogue. Like, long story short, for example, I had there's a point where you can get a little freaky naughty with wife, but I started the dialogue a little bit late, so I ended up getting into bed and she got out of the bed because the door knocked, and I was just in bed just fondling and getting a little freaky with nothing.
Real freaky naughty.
While she was getting beat up in the hallway, and it was pretty. It's strange. It's kind of funny, but it is what it is. But other than that, and some strange animations and clashes, everything else looked good. Especially the small things you could zoom in on. There was a lot of detail when it comes to that. It was super solid, man. It wasn't like nothing crazy, nothing that's mind blowing, but it looked good. Sound was great, man. From the character breathing, the distant elevator cue that causes all the tension in the game. And honestly, the absolute best part is the voice acting. It all felt real, even if the characters would get a little bit on that janky jank tip. But like the reactions of them speaking and everything with like the music when it would start to go down, it really had that like movie like feel and gave you this crazy tension that honestly it feels good, man. It's for a game that's not necessarily like horror like Dead Space type stuff. That tension was real, bro. Like, that should have my hair standing up, so I'm not even mad at that. Like, that's a very solid sound play on that. Replay value, man, it's high if you're trying to 100% it, but once you get everything and every achievement and everything like that, it's not really worth running back. So I would say up until the point of where you finish everything, the replay value is good. It's solid. I mean, it's fun. I mean, even though I was repeating some stuff just to get other endings, and I did have to do a whole nother game, like run through for certain things, it didn't really feel repetitive. I kind of enjoyed it, and I kind of liked the option to just fuck around and try other things. Like when I had more of a loose approach rather than the tense, like this is my first run and I have no idea what's going on. So that was cool for me. But once you get everything, then there's really no reason to run this game back. But honestly, for people that really want to know, man, this kind of game right here, if it's off of Game Pass, I think this is worth a buy, because I don't think this would be a game that they would sell for a crazy amount of money. I feel like it would be sold like indie game prices. But if you have a Game Pass, do yourself a favor. Like, absolutely do yourself a favor. This game is a good time. And I highly recommend playing this with someone watching. Someone actually being there and influencing some of your decisions and seeing what happens. Because for them, it's kind of like a little, like Russian Doll on Netflix. Kind of like a little something happening, a little dark, evil Groundhog's Day type, suspense thriller, but with a little bit of action on some PG-13. But all in all, man, the game is solid. But hey, man, if you guys enjoyed this review, I ask you again, please throw this a like and a subscribe. But also, we want to talk to you guys. We want to talk to you in the comments. If you played this, let us know your experience. And if there's anything else out there, especially on the Game Pass, that you think we should check out, because the Game Pass is loaded with a bunch of games, let us know in the comments. Other than that, that's all I got for you today. I'm John D, one half of Sticks and Stones Gaming, and I'm signing off. Peace.
Let's go.
Okay.